Hey everyone, Jim T. Graham with RCGroups.com, back with Mike from ZAP Glue. What's going on, Mike?
Hey Jim, how are you?
So we're talking about my favorite glue of all time, although you need to be a careful person when handling what we're about to discuss.
Thin CA, the ZAP CA, the pink label. We've got some building season. You got some colder weather coming right around the corner. You need to get some thin CA if you're going to be working with balsa.
And so the beauty of thin CA is right in the name. Oh, we're going to
No,
go
keep
to
going.
how to
No,
cut
keep
how.
talking.
Well, the beauty of thin CA is that it's thin and will penetrate like if you have two pieces of wood, it will not just get in between the wood, but it will penetrate both pieces of wood, making them somewhat of the same piece of wood, making it stronger. But you're going to show us how to control the fact that this glue goes everywhere.
That is correct. So the other thing you want to pick up is a package of flexi tips. All right. So your glue bottle will come with a this ring tip on it, and that is essentially our Z end. But if you
Okay.
really want a lot of control, let's get some flexi tips on there. So let me flip over my camera here. I got some balsa wood. All I did, I just got some chunks and some thin pieces of balsa wood here. So,
Oh,
oop, dope.
got it.
All right. So is in all most of you seen. Okay, you got your cap on here that's welded. Now, with thin, you want to make sure that your bottle is vertical, okay, straight up and down, and then you pop that cap off. Otherwise, you're going to get a bunch of this shooting all over the place. Okay, thin. You want to use a tip. So either you're going to use that ring tip that comes with, okay, and what you'll do, you'll be able to control that glue. You can see that comes out, and it just get the glare right, and you can see one drip really starts
All right.
to wick all the way down and penetrate through that wood. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip out this tip, and we're going to put a flexi tip on. I'll go to the other side, and we're going to put a drip right there. Now, there, get the glare right. Now you can see, let me get my little pointer here. Okay, so you can see what one drip did right here, very small. And then you start with the flexi tip, you get a little bit more. So that's what we're talking about today is control on your thin CA. And you want to use those flexi tips. So if I'm building and I've got my two pieces of balsa, and you have to use some imagination here because I'm just using two small pieces of balsa.
Got
What
it.
you can do is you've got a nice tight joint right here. I can run that thin right down that joint. All right. I'm going to move that over. I'm going to go right along this joint here. Okay. And what that's going to do is that's going to be wicking down in and locking that down. Now, if you have an opportunity, like in this situation where I can get to the
Oh,
other
right.
side, okay, then if you can get to the other side, then you want to run a line and a line there. And that's going to go ahead and wick all the way down. And like you talked about in the intro, is it makes this one. You don't just have glue right here or on that glue is going all the way down into the middle there. You know,
And the way you know that is if you were to try to pry those apart, they wouldn't break at the seam. They would tear the wood to pieces. Right?
yep,
So it's
yeah.
okay. I don't want to jump the gun here, but I do have a question.
Okie dokie.
So, not RC plane related, but I was at my Luthier and I had a neck of a guitar where the metal fret in the wood was lifting up. So I was trying to hammer it down and it would just come up. And he
Yep.
said, "Here's what you're going to do." And he whipped out thin CA and he ran a light bead where it went into the neck. And then at this point, I blanked out on what he did. If you were doing a process very delicately like this, would you hit it with the thin CA, wipe the residue off, and then kick it? Or would you put your kicker on then hit it with thin. What's the recipe for perfection?
Okay, so essentially you're talking about a veneer, right?
Well,
I mean,
this is holding a metal piece into a wood neck,
right.
so
Okay,
it's wicking in there.
right. So, but in very layman terms, you have a veneer of wood or veneer of metal and a base of wood or a base of metal, correct?
Right.
Okay. So
Yes.
what you had happening, I'm going to turn is you had something like this occurring, right?
Sure.
It
Yes.
just kept popping up. So what you do is I would take like my knife or a very pointed object. So in this situation, we'll just use this little flathead screwdriver. And where it was popping up, I'm just going to hold it down lightly.
Okay.
And then I'll take my thin CA and run it right down the joint there. Okay. Give it a second, and you don't have to kick thin because it
Right.
cures so fast, right?
I was going to say sometimes I'll just breathe on it and it kicks it.
Yep. And then that would be it. That's all you'll need to do. Okay.
Gotcha.
Now, let's take this a little bit further. Now, let's say that you have a larger veneer. Okay. We really want, you got to go further down in there. What you can do is start with your tip way down inside and then just slowly work that out. Okay. And what you're going to you're going to be laying a bead way down in here. Okay.
Right.
And that's another way of doing that also. Okay. Getting a little bit deeper into that joint by using this tip. Okay.
Gotcha.
Um, in our Z, if you buy the Z ends and actually in your cap, there's a small piece of micro tubing. Okay. And this gets inserted into your Z end, the ring tip, and that allows
Oh,
for that additional reach also. But you can look at the distance on the ring. Oh, sorry, good right there. The distance on your micro tubing is not much longer than what the flexi tip has. Okay, so
gotcha.
those are that's two ways that you can uh, tighten up that quote unquote. I'm just using veneer as a very general term in this situation.
Right. Right.
Okay.
All right.
Another great tool for holding, like if you don't want to put your knife on there, or if this like a little screwdriver is too big, just get an ice pick, the tip of the ice pick, just to hold that down, hold that veneer down. Okay.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so that's that. If as you're starting to work with balsa wood for the airplanes, or like when you're just talking with all the veneer, you want to pick up a bottle of your thin CA, that thin CA, and a package of flexi tips, and that will really allow you to get that balsa wood adhered down perfectly and make some beautiful airplanes.
And for someone who's never used NCA, what type of surfaces can it be applied to?
It's just about everything. Okay, and it's if let's go over to zapglue.com. Okay, and
All right. One
jump on over
moment.
there. Sorry about the background noise we get. Um, and again, scroll on down right there to that Zap app, right in the middle of the page.
All right.
Up a little
I
bit.
missed it. There
There
we
it
go.
is. And so then you can pick your two different woods, right, or two different things right there, and that will help you also. All right.
So that's a medium. Gotcha.
Yeah. All right. And so, like, go back to balsa, just like we're talking about today for the airplanes. So it's drop down for balsa wood, up one, up right there to balsa wood. Bam. And there you got the Zappa Gap and the Zap CA, our pink label. All right. We offer it, and the thin is offered in a quarter, half, 1, 2, and 4 ounce bottles.
Awesome. Well, everyone, that is everything you need to know about Thin CA. And there will be links and all the information in the description below, as well as an article about Thin CA that you can go check out.
All right. Thank you so much, Jim.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you. Everybody out there that watches our videos, please hit all the buttons, like and subscribe. I'm Jim T with RC Group.